Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to go over the basics of the module Let Me Roll That For You. Let Me Roll That For You is a module that allows you, the GM, to request rolls from your players, such as maybe a stealth check when they are trying to hide from the bandits as they sneak past their campfire. Or, something along those lines. Group stealth checks, group survival checks, things like that. Let's go through how the module actually functions. I will note before we get into too far that this module works really well in tandem with other modules such as like MIDI-QOL or Trigger Happy. I particularly like using it in Trigger Happy because it allows my players to roll their own saves when they land on a trap. Okay, let's go first to the icon here, the dice icon, where it says request roll. When we open up this window, we can see there are some options available to us. We can have a roll requested from all of our players at the same time, or just have it for one player's character. So I'm going to request a roll only from the player Jim. Jim is playing a human fighter. Jim also doesn't exist. Jim is me, but that's beside the point. So I'm going to request a strength check from Jim and click request roll here. If I wanted to also, I could, I could change like the text that's displayed to them or decide if it's a normal or advantage roll, things like that. But I'm just having a normal strength ability check right now. And let's jump over to Jim's perspective and see what it looks like. Alright, this is what Jim sees. He sees the message, get rolling. This is the text that you can change at the top left-hand corner there. And your GM has requested rolls from your character or characters. Ability check, strength. I'm going to click that. And when I click it, we can see my dice rolls. And wow, Jim rolled a nat 20. 120 plus 3. Got a 23 on that. So pretty simple. There is one more thing I want to show you, and that's how you can save a request as a macro. So let's go back over to the GM screen. So depending on the type of game that you play, maybe there are some requests or some roles that your players are doing like all the time. Like if you're playing a survival game, you might have survival or stealth or perception. You can actually have a role request saved as a macro, put it down on the macro bar, and then whenever you need to use it, just click the macro bar rather than having to open up this whole dialog prompt or opening up the whole window. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to save this strength check as a macro, and then I'm going to save it as a macro, and then I'm going to go over to my macro folder. My macro folder is very unorganized. I apologize for that. And then I'm going to drag this down onto number 1. Now, I have it already set up, so whenever I click this, it is going to request a strength check from Jim. I can have it set up, though, for all of the players. I could have it set up as a saving throw, skill check. There are a number of uses you could have in place for this. Cool, that's where I'm going to end the video. I don't want to go into too much detail about what other modules this pairs with. I promise I will have a video on traps soon, and Let Me Roll That For You, I think pairs the best with traps because I think it's very helpful to players when they step on a trap to be able to roll their own save for that. Alright, that is where I'll end today. If there are any questions or comments, please put them down in the comments below. Thanks everyone.